by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to one and all once again. Basing desires on moral values. What it means? Desire means wish, want, longing, aspiration, craving, or earning. We can see the lot of equivalent words to this desire means. Let's think, is it possible a man can live without any wish? Even a saint who is sitting in the forest and doing a meditation throughout his life, he has a wish to achieve his mukti. In the olden days, enlightened people looked upon desires as an undesirable quality, disliking even mention the word desire. They also clarified desires into three categories: desire for the learned and wealth and women. Their aim may be to eliminate only the evil desires which would yield bad results from the minds of the people. Let's think now, is in this present scientific era, is it possible to live without any desires? Without any wanting or without any aspiration? Is it all desires are bad? Today, we are trying to get the answers for these questions from our Guru, Vedatri Maharishis. Each one of us aspires to cross the ocean of life successfully, which is itself a desire, which cannot be done away with. As for Maharishi, desires born on natural reasons. Desires are the outcomes of the needs. As we know, all living beings have three kinds of natural sensation. Those arising from hunger, and from variation in climatic conditions, and those from excretory forces. The depletion in the life energy is felt sensation of anger and thirst, which are quite natural, and it can be appeased only through food and drink. Hunger or thirst makes our thoughts turn to food, the primary desire. Further, the life energy can circulate and function effectively only if the body temperatures are normal. The variations due to some reasons produce pain or account of excess conversion of the life energy. This is corrected through the use of shelter or suitable clothes. Then third, when bodily wastes begin to accumulate or SVF begins to increase and accumulate on attainment of puberty, the need to eliminate them arises in the form of a pain or discomfort. The need is balanced through the use of suitable facilities. This desire arises from the attempts to appease the needs, and they continue all as long as one is alive. It is certainly not a sin or a crime to entertain desire in order to achieve or to enjoy something that can give pleasure to us. Desires are born of thoughts, and thoughts are the result of normal working of the mind, the physical extension of the soul, as we know. Desires being the product of the thoughts and the thoughts result to the soul, there cannot be difference between I and the desire. The desire itself is the I, and as such that I cannot exist without desires. Desires cannot be eliminated, for where there are no desire, there is no life. So only the divine state, which has no needs, can exist without desires, whereas all living beings are subject to it. So now we understood having desire is not wrong, but what should be ensured is that the desires are evaluated with reference previous experiences, the law of nature, and the sentiments of the society. If it is assessed that no harm can rise to the self or the others at present or in the future from the action or enjoyment following the desires, then the valid conclusion is that such desires are virtuous. But one must be aware of that the human mind can generate hundreds of desires in the course of 1 hour, and this process continues throughout one's life. Only few of these desires have the potential for fulfillment. Most of the desires cannot be achieved in practical terms. It has been seen that the desire is the root cause of all the miseries of man. It was told, correct, for us, it has been said that the desires is the root cause of all the miseries of man. Is it not so? Pain or pleasure resides in the method, the extent, and implementation of desires in life. If when the desire is kept under close scrutiny and when it's done with awareness, then desire will result in a creative and purposeful life. As we discussed, the desires born of physical needs like hunger and thirst should disappear once they are satisfied. And those arising out of the need to regulate the life energy should end once the act is performed. But this is not the case. The mind becomes attracted to the pleasure born of the process and the desire to repeat the action for the sake of pleasure, even in the absence of a need. Think for an example, when we are going to a party, we are having enough food and we are full and sitting and talking with our friends, and suddenly there are the new dish or something as a clove jamun is arriving there on the table. So we are already ate, but now this is tempting that the pleasure of eating the clove jamun is tempting me. So what I will do, I will take 1 or 2 clove jamuns and eat. This desire or not for the satisfaction of actual need, but merely for the sake of the pleasure it produces. This has to be controlled, prevented even. All desires which are not for the regulation of the life energy or satisfaction of genuine physical needs arise in the illusory state of mind also and can be healed only the bad results. Such desires which are only arising for the sake of pleasure, it will definitely yield bad results. Secondly, other than the needs, even desires born of genuine needs should be entertained if the results can produce pain for oneself or others when fulfilled. Desires becomes harmful and sinful only if grows behind limits and causes pain to self or others at present or in future. At the same time, these desires cannot be suppressed, but can be analyzed with total awareness and eliminated. They should be analyzed for the genuineness, that means the final outcome, which will provide a clear picture regarding the desirability or the need to eradicate them immediately. In the long run, if an unnecessary desire is left unchecked and allowed to repeat it as a habit, it will become a psychic disease of man. One can and may desire literally thousands of things, but one can enjoy and experience only a few, those which one's physical body permits and those within the available lifespan. sorry, if one goes on multiplying desires without allowing the required period of time to pause, allow for their achievement and enjoyment, then one's thought force loses its strength and due to the lack of balancing by enjoyment and experience. For an example, if a cart or a boat is loaded only on one side, what will happen? Will it not capsize? Similarly, a man who entertains desires in large numbers without balancing them by enjoyment and experience is toppled by his mental load and loses his peace. Even though desire starts from one man, it has the power to function in connection with any number of persons. This is become it is a divine force having its roots in the universal force. Desire will produce its result in due time, according to its strength and pressure, provided its fulfillment is possible under the law of nature. Every desire should be analyzed for the reasons behind it and put it into action only if it does not affect anyone adversely and the means for satisfying it is available. Care should be taken to see the results do not harm anyone, even in the future. This, however, is not what really happens because our needs keep increasing and our desires increasing in tandem, leading to miseries and problems. While desires lead to our own improvement or progress or the welfare of the society can be entertained, those for materialistic things should be avoided. One of our Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar says, freedom from the bondage of desires mitigates suffering. Until then, the mind vacillates in vacuums. Acceptance of these desires, fulfilling them with due consideration for the laws of cause and effect, understanding the nature and extent to which the desires can influence us, and the fact that they cannot be totally avoided is important. Otherwise, they can harm us by giving rise to the attachment. The primary reason behind attachments is the involvement of the mind with the desires and the ways to enjoy them. They defeat the purpose of life because the mind turns to enjoyment of materials and ways to possess them. Then the desire turns to greed, and greed, when blocked, gives rise to anger, and the 5 cardinal sins rise. The man sinks into the depth of immorality from which there is no escape. So, need should not be allowed to multiply because it leads the mind becoming involved with enjoyment, whereby imprints increase and the cycle of birth and death continues indefinitely. They should be curtailed for achieving the purpose of our life, which is dissolution of all imprints through a virtuous life and arriving at a state where fresh ones are all not created. We knowing the self by arising for attaining perfection and finding contentment through eradication of all desires. This state is called nirgunam. It paves the way for salvation, and this can be achieved only by regulating the desires and avoiding achievements. Maharishi says, increasing in one's positions leads to retardation of physical and mental health. An increase in number of dependents inhibits freedom. Yet, at the same time, we should be aware of our duties and responsibilities. As we discuss about the detachment, detachment is awareness of the nature and the extent to which attachment is possible. It is the state wherein pleasures are enjoyed with full awareness, yet the mind does not get involved with them. This is called a state of detached attachment. This state is achieved through the realization that everyone, everything is a fraction of the absolute, and living in awareness of this fact constantly. Life can be lived with its fullest extent, properties acquired and the commodities enjoyed, but the mind should not become attached to any of this. All needs should be satisfied properly, but with constant awareness of the self. Yes, we can enjoy our food, what we like, what is good for our health, and then with the awareness, how much quantity, that is a moderation, and the method is very, very important. So we have to think about and to take, even in the things which we are having it with us. So it should be in the countable. Is it required for me? Is it giving pleasure to me? That each and every point we have to keep an analysis and to hold it. That means all the needs which we need, we can enjoy our life without sacrificing, like we no need to go out of our usual life and to lead anywhere in the forest and sit and do. So all needs should be satisfied properly, but with a constant awareness of the self. Service to the others should be prime motive for which commodities are essential. It is but natural that desires can crop up even at this stage and have to be satisfied. For an example, we need a pillow when sleeping. It is not wrong, but which is not carried around at all other times. Attachment to the five things, namely wealth, people, sex, fame, and prestige, is natural. But everything should be experienced with awareness and as a part of one's duty. It may be compared to the care exercised to avoid drowning while bathing in a river or getting burnt when handling fire. We should handle the attachments very carefully. Problems and miseries are the results of deeds born of attachments which are not at variance with the purpose of life. They are. They are a part of the treatment meted out by the divine to correct the conscious mind. This is our divine treatment and should be accepted as a part of the natural order of things meant to uplift the individual. Every individual should look upon himself as part of the society and strive for the welfare of all. The senses alone should relate to the actions and the mind remain attached. Every individual has desires, big or small, which rise up occasionally. Each one of them should be analyzed for its genuineness, the ability to fulfill it, and the possible outcome of the actions. Whenever a desire arises in one's mind, the following five questions to be posed. First one, what is the root of the desire? Second, is this desire for the good? Third, can I live and be content without the enjoyment or desired thing? Fourth one, what exactly will be the result to me and others if I achieve the desired thing or enjoyment? The fifth one, can I physically and financially afford to attempt the achievement or this thing or experience? If the desired thing is necessary for life and found to be good, then the introspection must be expanded to find out what will be the best method of planning for this achievement. There are 6 steps should be coordinated. The desire, the plan, the approach, achievement, enjoyment, and assessment of benefits. In the other hand, any of them are found to be unnecessary. Any of this one person is, we got no, it is not necessary. A resolution not to entertain it is made, which is strengthened through repeated autosuggestion at the end of every meditation. Whenever the desire props up, the autosuggestion also comes to the fore and over a period of time is erased from the mind. Suppose one desires something, the desire is found to be good through the introspection. Now we have to think the other aspects regarding the desires, such as one's ability or environmental opportunities, the sentimental feeling of the others in the society, and the law of nature. For example, if you like some dress, let's suppose I like to have one dress. If that when I am in this society, if it is not allowed, I should not entertain that desires do at that moment. So we have to think about our ability, environmental opportunities, and also the sentimental feelings of the others in the society, as well as the law of nature. Such questions will produce answers within oneself and make one capable of assessing the nature of desires. Only then can one easily induce morality in one's desires through proper psychic practice. So, for example, how to analyze this? Let's see with a practical example of our life. So, how to analyze this? Suppose we think about if I want to build an house in India. If you think about it, I want to build a very big house, which like here when we are in a villa here, we need to be there in the same way to build in our place, native place. So first question is arises, what is the root cause of the desire? Maybe I'm enjoying the facilities over here. My mind is wanted to enjoy that throughout my life. Okay. Or maybe that is I wish for someone has wished for me to in a good house. So there is a reason, root cause for the desire. Is this desire for the good? Yeah, I have to think. Is it living in the good house? Is it not bad to anyone? It's good. Okay. Can I live and be content without the enjoyment or desire thing? Yes, I can live. But next question comes. What exactly will be the result to me and others if I achieve the desired thing or enjoyment? If I'm thinking, if the result is coming, so that means we build a good house. So what will be that? Definitely it will be enjoyment for myself, my family, and as well as my relatives who is very close to us. Correct? Nobody is going to be affected by this. So everyone will be enjoyed. It is not harmful to any one of them. So yes, they will enjoy. Can I physically and financially afford to attempt the achievement or the things? I may think like that now. Okay, is it financially also I am affordable? Okay, then we have to think about, is it if I go for that to build a house? Yes, it is very difficult for me. If I build a house there, somebody has to be there and to maintain and to do things for me. So I am becoming a burden to someone. I'm posing my burden to someone. It may be my father or a brother or sister or someone else there, which is not correct. So now I'm thinking this desire is not good for me now, present. It is good, but I am not able to uh, give an act for this moment. So what can I do? I put in suggestion. Yes, this desire is good for me and for my family. It is nothing harmful to anyone, but this is not the right time to do it for. So I will hold this desire for some more time. So I will do it after 1 year or 2 year, and we have to start our planning accordingly. And then whenever this thought comes, we will not feel disappointed. Otherwise, if you are not doing this analysis, what will happen? We need to have one house. So this people is having a house, that people is, so I don't have as a beautiful house there. So that thought will make us feeling very bad and then giving us our value as low. So that if you are doing this way, no, I'm able to do that. But now time being, my concern is I'm not able to do. Let my children grow. And when they are going there, and if I'm capable of handling both myself, then I will build a house. So the suggestion will be made in very correct format as for our need. And then we have to do the suggestions in every moment. The same thing, if you see, this is the one of the example I want to share. And the same way, there are a lot of examples. Every day, day-to-day life, we have a lot of desires. We can analyze just a moment, take the questions, and then we can carry on our desires. Even it is So if the next, we can see some more examples also. If you see, like, one of my friend wants to go for a world tour. So world tour is like, kind of, yeah. So now again, what is the root cause of a desire? If you think, if suppose, if the root causes for her is like, she is exploring a lot of things in the outside, she like to explore a lot of things outside, and if suppose she is wanted to visit a lot of places, if she visiting, she will enjoy the moment, then she has to go for it. But suppose that my friend is like, she is not at all interested to visit, even she go for a one day, she will immediately say, I am tired, I cannot enjoy this, okay, enough, one day is enough, like that category. But why she got that intention to have that world tour? I came to know that a friend has visited the world tour recently, so she got the desire. Is it this desire is going to give her fulfillment or content? No way. So this is not going to give a content or enjoyment to her. So this desire should be analyzed by ourselves, and very carefully we have to take a decision. No, it is not giving enjoyment to me or my family. So why I have to do this? So we have to keep that. It is eradicated. Such desires should be eradicated from our list. In the beginning of this practices of basing one's desires on moral tenets, we should allot 15 to 20 minutes every day for it weigh all the desires that arise and retain only the harmonious ones. Eliminate the unwanted and unnecessary desires. If something is desired and one's ability to fulfill it is not adequate at that moment, then ways must be devised to improve the ability. Suppose the same thing, what I said for the building the house. Suppose I don't have money to build the house. So what can I do? I can increase. I'm not give up that. So I will increase my ability to build the house. And then we have to go for a plan. However, having prepared list of minimum desires, the fulfillment of which is estimated to be within one's ability and means. Proceed to devise appropriate measures of constructive actions. Then repeat the conclusion of the exercise as an auto suggestion. Follow the practice daily. The conclusion will stand strongly against any adverse desire whenever it arises. In the course of 1 week, in just 7 days, you will be surprised to find that desires stand dramatically reduced in number. Those which remain can pressure and consolidate peace and happiness. When the number of desires come down to 4 or 5, which can be fulfilled one by one through proper planning, it is inadvisable to retain hundreds of unfulfilled desires, for it leads to lack of peace and deterioration of mental and physical health. When desires are controlled through a process of introspection, lasting peace fills the mind, confidence and courage improves, along with the virtuous qualities of patience and love, leading to as success. All action should be performed with a pure mind and a sense of duty, where the mind remains detached from everything, whereas suppressing desires only make them well up in the mind. Analyze and introspection help weed them out, even in the initial stages. Uncontrolled desires turn to greed, and greed, when blocked, becomes anger. The desire to accumulate things, even at the cost of others' welfare, is miscellaneous. Knowing the value of these desires and putting the knowledge to good use helps us self-realization. Introspection forms a main part of the spiritual journey, and this moralization of desires a major part of this introspection. Furthermore, the philosophical knowledge derived from the practice will be substantiable help to building up an understanding of the law of nature. It will also help to realize the relationship between the universe, the world, life, the body, and the knowledge. Even psychic strength, which we acquire to not only regulate desires, but to grasp the purpose of life and much towards self-realization. Thank you for all listening to me patiently. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. be blessed by the divine.